Yeah. Well, Tom, with you, I know like MCP, you're like, oh shit, man, tired of hearing about this. On the flip side, said everything I do is pretty worthless without MCP. So like, where's the middle? Like, tell me what when I say it's worthless without MCP, like, what's your rebuttal? How do you use it? How do you use AI without tools?
What is this? I feel like I'm in the Hamilton the musical. It's like, are we in debate? Are we in debate mode?
No, it's. I'm not saying defend yourself. Like I'm. It's
So yeah, so like tools are critical. We can't really use these things without tools, right? However, a lot of the time, I think for at least personal use of AI tools is very user cycle driven, which is kind of like I would describe it as kind of like the operating system, right? Where you're bringing data in and you're managing the data yourself as a user. Where MCP, I think, basically enabled us to think about building agents. Like that was sort of like what it gave us, right? Because we were offloading a bunch of the data input context management to the user up until that point. It's interesting, like it's only been around for a year, right? MCP has only really existed for a year. I was looking at actually, and at least the first 3 months of that were basically, it was no one was talking about it. Like Anthropic released a blog post and said, MCP is a thing. And we all ignored it, or at least I did. Most of us did. You didn't for like 3 months. And then everyone's like, oh yeah, actually this could work. This actually makes the dream of agents a reality. Where it kind of, I don't know, where things like this kind of like I'm not enabled into using them is probably because it's not an easy interface and it's not easy to kind of play with. So I think code mode maybe is like the first step. And then the next step is an interface over the top of code mode where I can actually either prompt a mechanism to get the data in the right way. For example, like I'm using the HubSpot MCP connector in ChatGPT. It's too broad, right? I want to basically build up a code, like it's almost like a filter. Basically, it's a filtering mechanism, a repeatable filtering mechanism that's sort of an easy, simple UI that I could probably design with voice over the top of that MCP that drives the input-output exchange for me. That's probably
yep.
what I reckon will be built, or some variant of that will be built next over these things. Because it's like, all right, the context is getting better. Code mode makes the context better. Now make the context better for the user. That's the next phase.